Hi guys, I'm Dean and this is my channel Cinematic Movie Maker.
Stop. Here's Future Dean editing this video and I forgot about a part that I need to edit in now.
Just as a side note, the audio quality of this video is going to shift throughout the video because I didn't just shoot all of the scenes in one day, and throughout that process I found out that the audio settings of my camera were wrong, but I didn't want to shoot all the scenes I already shot, so here we are. I hope that you still get a lot of enjoyment out of watching this video.
So that's that. You can watch the video now again.
So since I uploaded nothing for a while, like seriously, the last thing I uploaded was like 6 months ago or something like that. And I originally just made this channel to upload my short films on it. I thought, what am I going to do while I can't upload any short films because they take a lot of time. And I came to the conclusion that I want to make more essay type of videos. So this first video is going to be about one of my favorite YouTubers. And his name is John Cena! Jesus Christ, a fucking John Cena joke in fucking 2018. And his name is Bobby Burns. So let's start with the first question. Who's Bobby Burns and what's his channel all about? Bobby Burns is first and foremost a YouTuber. He's also a rapper and a director. More on that later on. So it is quite difficult to explain what Bobby does on his channel, because all of the content he makes is divided in little phases, and each phase has its own kind of content. So there are basically 5 to 6 different phases of Bobby Burns content. Since I couldn't find phase 1.0, I'm just going to assume that the short films on his first channel, Chicken Feet Films, count as phase 1.0. As an example for the type of content he made in phase 1.0, I've chosen a short film called A Life Taken. And it is quite impressive how beautiful some of the shots in this short film are, and how he's able to make such an intense short film this early in his career. Bobby 2.0 was him making movie reviews. The way his movie reviews work is pretty self-explanatory, as movie reviews should be.
So today we're going to be talking about the new film Deadpool.
I'm not going to talk about this phase that long. This was the first time where we actually got a glimpse at who Bobby is as a person and how great he is at talking to his audience.
Deadpool is an R-rated Marvel film. Okay. I know I said in my last video that I'm getting very tired of superhero films, but as I said in the video, this movie is kind of one that's an exception to what I was saying.
His movie reviews were actually the first kind of content I ever saw by him, and they obviously mean a lot to me when I watch them now. It's nostalgia overflow. But eventually Bobby moved on to the next phase of content, and that would be phase number 3. So phase 3.0 was Bobby making still movie related content, but this time he started making movie essays and analysis. Let me look that up real quick. Analysis? At least that's how it's spelled. Pronunciation.
Analyzes, verb. Analyses, noun.
Analyses. Okay, so it's analyses. So I'm going to stick with that. Yeah man, we don't care about your grammar problems. Get back to what you were actually talking about. Oh yeah. Let's get back to Bobby Burns 3.0. So my favorite video from this era of Bobby Burns content must be the video about how extended cuts basically become the movie equivalent to DLCs, and how shitty it is that movie studios don't give us the real movie in the cinemas. and just at-home videos so they can make more bank.
For example, 3 of this year's biggest disappointments were Suicide Squad, Ghostbusters, and Batman v Superman. While in theaters, all 3 were berated for having massive plot holes, underdeveloped characters, and a complete lack of structure. However, once they came out on Blu-ray, the mass opinions seemed to shift. Article after article filled our news feeds, trying to convince us that these extended editions improved upon the train wrecks we had seen in theaters.
But if you look at the Bobby 3.0 content, there's also something new, some new content that's not just movie related. So there are multiple YouTube essays within the Bobby 3.0 content phase, but Bobby 4.0 is him just making YouTube essays. One of his most interesting videos in that phase of content is a video about Filthy Frank, where he explains that Filthy Frank is not just a weird-ass character that's doing stupid shit. But there's also some artistic merit to some of the shots and generally to what George aka Frank is doing.
Filthy Frank vs. Chin Chin is the newest short film by YouTuber George Miller. It's a continuation of the ever-growing lore that each episode of the Filthy Frank show builds upon, and is a perfect example of how George's show works.
So up next is Phase 5.0 and the hate. So Phase 5.0 is about him moving to LA and becoming basically a full-time YouTuber. What is it? Only one question. How did he become a full-time YouTuber again? I think you didn't mention that. Oh yeah, I think I should get into that first. So one of the last videos from Bobby's 4.0 phase was him criticizing a video series by Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson, who has this video series about Jake Paul and who's like super famous right now. Yeah, that Shane Dawson. So Shane saw the video criticizing his content and he flew Bobby out to LA. Because that's exactly what you do with a person who doesn't like your content. You fly him out to your house. So while Bobby was at Shane's house, they made a content series together. And that content series was called Confronting My Hater. Because Bobby was not just simply critical in his video, but also said some pretty nasty things.
Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome back to another conspiracy theory video.
And on top of this whole hot topic aesthetic, we have his voice.
But there were also still a lot of critical stuff to it. It was not just him talking shit.
You are spreading so much misinformation that is so easily researched. Like literally, one Google search clears up almost everything he says in this entire video.
So that series was just them talking about what he said in this video and what Shane could actually make better in his videos, or what he could actually improve. So Shane made the decision to give Bobby a show on Shane's channel, and well, things didn't went as easy as planned, I guess. So now that Bobby had all of the Shane fans coming over to his channel, it was obviously never going to be the same as before. So it was basically the perfect opportunity for him to make new content, to go into a different phase. And this is going to be about Phase 5.0. So this phase is, as I mentioned, about Bobby coming to LA and becoming a full-time YouTuber. And well, let's just say the response to this phase wasn't that great.
People hated it. It got so many dislikes, and it was just boring. Terrible content. His channel is done.
Well, I thought it wasn't that terrible. I just took a look at the comments from his video How to Film Like a YouTuber, which is a pretty damn cool video, which gives you some good advice on which film gear to get for making videos. But all the comments were about how he doesn't deserve the fame and how Bobby's apparently manipulating Shane. In what way is Bobby manipulating Shane? Can somebody explain this to me? Like, that doesn't even make in any way sense. But to be fair, not all the negative comments were from people who came over from Shane's channel and just made these weird conspiracy theories about Bobby's cruel intentions. Some of his old subscribers just didn't like the content because it wasn't what they subscribed for. And that's totally okay. You just don't have to make an ass out of yourself by bashing the person who's trying to do something new. You can just simply unsubscribe or just not watch the video. It's as simple as that. And to be precise, I'm not talking about the criticisms. The criticisms are completely okay. But I personally really enjoyed the new vlog kind of format because you got to see a different side of Bobby, a more personal side of Bobby. And I think some people didn't appreciate that because they thought that he was just like in his movie reviews or in his other videos. But you always kind of wear a mask when you're shooting a video. It's not exactly the real person. And even this video right now, this is not exactly me, I guess. Like, my friends would know me. And it's the same with Bobby. But a vlog is more focused on your real life. You get to see more of the real person. But as you can probably figure out yourself, Phase 5.0 was very short-lived. I think it wasn't even like 6 months Bobby did this content. And at least I thought it was because of the negative reaction. I think everybody thought that. But there might have been a different reason. And to that reason we're getting right now. And let's get to what Bobby is, at least partly, currently doing on his channel. The newest of all Bobby Burns eras, the Nasty era. Named after his new alter ego Nasty. It's until this point his most artistic phase yet, and the one I personally like the most. He now makes rap music, as I mentioned before.
Tiptoeing through some broken shards to the telescope. Hella broke, feeling in your life like it's a hella dough. Hear me toe, smoking on the reefer, burning up the gas. I'ma pass all the motherfucker, blaming all the cash on your ass.
He also released an album called The Nasty Tape. And the new videos are more story-driven, with the character of Nasty being like an ultimate evil version of Bobby or something like that. So the Nasty character came into play on Bobby's channel after he got massive hate for changing up his content, as I told you before. And after the response he got for Bobby 5.0, Bobby probably thought that he fucked up his chance, and therefore he fell into a deep depression. He didn't upload anything on his channel for weeks, and his show on Shane's channel was slowly dying too. This was the perfect time for Nasty to be born. Now let's talk about the actual Nasty character. Because Bobby has also said what the Nasty character means to him, or what the actual concept of the Nasty character is. He said that the concept of the Nasty character was what would happen if a bisexual person would grow in a homophobic environment and was treated horribly for their sexuality, until they crushed that part of themselves and became a stereotypical ultra-masculine, angry and, well, nasty character. But at his core he's still secretly bi. This is especially interesting since Bobby came out as bisexual a couple of months ago. So you could say he used the Nasty character to also portray what was going on in his life. Nasty is not just portraying what Bobby said he is. I think that Nasty is Bobby's way of processing the whole situation with the hate comments. So the character of Nasty is also an amalgamation of all the hate he got while making Bobby 5.0. Nasty is the part of Bobby that believed that the comments he got at that point were absolutely right. And to prove my point a little bit with that, let's look at some lyrics. Let's look at the lyrics from his first song, 5.0, Get Fucked.
5.0, get fucked. 5.0, get fucked. Get it to yourself, what? 5.0, get fucked.
Bobby Burns 5.0, why you so depressed? Sponsorships plus a Jeep, wow, a lot of fucking stress.
The first line of this verse is obviously referring to Bobby's mental state after the negative reaction to his 5.0 era content. The second line, sponsorship plus a Jeep, is referencing the gift Shane gave Bobby for his 21st birthday, which was a Jeep. And because Bobby is obviously now a full-time YouTuber, he needs sponsorships to make money. In the next line, wow, a lot of fucking stress, he's still referencing the line from before about sponsorships plus Jeep and being so depressed. This is referencing some of the toxic comments under his mental health video. People commenting made a terrible point in saying that he shouldn't be depressed since he's successful and got a Jeep as a present. Let's go to the next verse that I found pretty interesting.
Looking, Chloe Grace Moretz looking, Steve from Stranger Things looking, also on a thing looking, bitch. Yo, why'd you fucking switch? Shot killing Bobby 4.0 go off without a hitch.
Nah. The first line, Dandy Hahn looking, Chloe Grace Moretz looking, Steve from Stranger Things looking, and Jonathan looking bitch, is obviously referencing people he does look alike a little bit, and people said he does look alike. And yeah, there's not that much to that line. But the part I actually want to focus on more is the last one. Thought killing Bobby 4.0, go off without a hitch. Nah. And this is him referencing going to 5.0 and therefore killing the phase before that, which would be 4.0. Even though he's not killing 4.0 literally, like in this video, he kills 5.0 literally, and yeah.
How many views do you need to lose in a news? Where's your little bro, bitch, who did you choose?
So the first line is referencing that Bobby had a big decrease in views after the 5.0 era really got going, because a lot of people who came over from Shane's channel want to see him only doing stuff with Shane, and a lot of his old subscribers didn't like the new content. Probably because it was the same kind of content he in the past. And the second line is about people asking him constantly what happened to his little brother, who was a big part of his older videos. But now since he's in LA, his brother isn't with him anymore. All in all, that verse that I just started analyzing completely reflects what the comments were saying, and it proves furthermore my point that Nasty is actually a representation of the toxic comments Bobby got while making stuff on the 5.0 era.
Even clues, as we know, strike with that unsub. No more chances, little bitch.
You did a damn flaw.
You became everything you set out to destroy. Country boy, LA changed you, so I must employ every single goddamn weapon in my knapsack. I'm a leaking news where I'll end up getting laughed at.
In this verse, especially the first 4 lines are pretty damn interesting. The first one is about how a lot of people threaten YouTubers to unsub in order to force them to change their content to what they did before. In Bobby's case, these comments started coming in at the point he made vlogs, the 5.0 era, which was very much the type of content he was criticizing before, or as said in one of the next lines, set out to destroy.
Shane. Screaming out in pain, but I don't hear his name. Where is he? What's the game? Huh? Are you still friends? Yeah. Does the ship remain? Does the fucking ship remain? Does the ship remain?
The first line is about how people think Shane would react to Bobby's new content. Even though that's probably not completely true. Shane is very much still supportive of Bobby. But still a lot of people didn't know what was up with him and Bobby at the time. And they were constantly asking, if they are still friends. And rumors start circling around that Shane had fired Bobby from his channel, but this turned out to be completely bullshit, and Shane said multiple times that he didn't fire Bobby. So the response from 5.0 to the Nasty era changed a little bit. While it still wasn't that positive, it was definitely more positive than when Bobby made vlogs. However, some of the comments, especially those under his Instagram posts, are extremely horrible, and I wouldn't wish stuff like that to my worst enemies. Bobby recently had a car crash, and almost all of the comments in the Instagram comment section were about how he destroyed the last thing Shane gave him. I mean, Jesus Christ, the guy could have died in a car crash. So in conclusion, what do I think should Bobby do in the future of his channel? I think he should definitely stick to the Nasty character. Even though many people don't like it at the moment, I think that this fan base will definitely grow, especially if he gives us more lore about Nasty and maybe different characters in this story. I actually see some similarities between the Filthy Frank show and these Nasty videos. Both of them are often criticizing the comments on YouTube videos, and while Filthy Frank has a pretty different approach at that, probably a more comedic and raunchy approach, I still think Bobby's approach can totally work. Also, it would make sense that Bobby was at least a little bit inspired by the Filthy Frank show, since he was a big fan, as I mentioned before. So Bobby recently said that he's not going to continue the face format he had for his channel, and he's going to stick with the Nasty character. He's still going to make rap songs.
Nasty wears the same shirt every day. Never leave the house, 5 o'clock attached to my face. Cheerios for lunch, shove them down, care about the taste.
And still going to release albums, but he's also kind of doing what he wants to do right now. But there's also a big thing we can learn all from Bobby's videos. If people don't like your content, don't make what they want you to make what you yourself want to make. I mean, this is going to sound very cliche, but what I learned from his videos is that you need to be who you want to be and not need to show a version of yourself that you don't like to show anymore. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and yeah, I still have some outtakes that I'm going to show you right now.
Enjoy.
Analyzes. Apparently it's shut up computer. And why am I doing this? Why the fuck am I doing this? This is so fucking cringy. Fuck it. What the fuck am I doing? Move to LA. I thought that costs. How the fuck am I supposed to do this when I'm constantly failing at simple words? You're doing good. You're doing fine, buddy. Jesus fucking Christ. I've done 1 page. Finally. Fuck yes. 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Yoo-hoo. Hopefully this video will be good. So Bobby, what the fuck? So Bobby said,